So today we're gonna do a batch cook of something, and how do you add recipes into the app and make sure that it's tracking everything properly. So I'm going to hit screen record on this. So this might taste horrible later, just so you know. I'm just gonna put a bunch of stuff into this and cook it. I'm gonna cook the pasta separately a little bit later on, but first I'm gonna get my pot of chicken and everything going on. So I've already got all the raw amount of chicken here, and I've already put into the app. As you can see here, it says 1,783 grams worth. So I'm gonna chop all that up, toss it into here. I'm gonna also add this cucumber. I'm gonna add a whole onion, a shallot, and I'm probably gonna throw some spices in there. Now I'm also gonna add this can of deliciousness, bought it from the store the other day, and I'm gonna pour that in there as well, so it's gonna cook inside of that and season everything. Then later on, I'm gonna add the pasta that will already be cooked, and then I'm gonna break it all, mince it all together, and then we're gonna start from there. So I'm gonna speed up some of this process here. As you're watching, you're gonna see it kind of go in fast time, and then we're gonna put it all together. So let's begin. So right now, all I'm doing is I'm quickly adding all the dry ingredients of everything that I'm cooking. So this is gonna add the whole thing. So I'm gonna change that to the 340 grams of pasta here. So it's 248 carbohydrates. I'm gonna save that. Now, I'm gonna add this. Now I'm probably not gonna do the full box here for this one. So I'm gonna scan this barcode here, and we're gonna change this to grams. It's always easier to do things in grams. And just so I know, we're gonna add 200 grams worth of this one here. So I'm gonna weigh out 200 grams of this box here. Save that. There we go. So now I'm going to weigh out my 200 grams. Put on my scale here. $180. Oh. Boom, 200. So now I got that. I know this is gonna be my total pasta. So I'm actually gonna get the boiling water started here, so that by the time this is all done cooking, the pasta should be done, and I can mix it all in a big bowl. And then we're gonna weigh the whole recipe, and I'll show you how you import it into the app. All right, so now I've got my onion here. So I'm gonna weigh out the whole onion because I'm gonna use the whole thing. So we got 211 grams of onion. There we go. So add this. We go onion. Onion. There we go. And then we got 211 grams. Save that. Put the phone down there. Now I recommend cutting your chicken up into 1-inch squares. It'll just make it cook a little bit evenly. And then also when we shred the chicken or we break it up into smaller pieces a little bit, it'll make that process a lot more easy. Now that this is all chopped up and it's all finished up, I'm just gonna mix it all together here. And then I'm going to throw it in the Instapot, put it on the chicken setting, and let that cook. Then when we return, the pasta will be done. This will all be done. We're gonna break this all up, and then we're gonna mix it all together, and then I'll show you how you put a big bundle recipe like this and how you can portion it out properly without guessing or estimating here. I'm gonna toss a little bit of garlic powder in there and a little bit of pepper. And then we'll return later after we have all that. So we got most of the ingredients there. Now I can pause this and I'm gonna go hit save meal just so it stays recorded, and then we'll do the rest after. Welcome back. The chicken is all done, so I'm gonna grab it out of the Instapot and we're gonna see how it turned out. And then we're gonna do the next stage of the process on how to put recipes into the app and make sure you're tracking correctly. So this is what the recipe so far looks like, and we're gonna mash that all together and then we'll be able to mix it in with our chicken. Okay, so as of now, we have quite a bit of fluid in here and juice, so I'm actually gonna pour some of this off. Now, we did do the measurements earlier with all of it in there, so we're gonna lose some of this stuff. So actually some of the measurements for like the carbs or the fats or whatever will probably be a little less because some of this sauce here is gonna be drained out. Now we're not gonna pour all of it out because I want this to be a nice moist dish. So let's just separate some of that and then get into breaking it all apart. Now, as you can see here, I have my scale and I'm gonna transport all this into this pot later on, and I'm gonna weigh just this. I think it's gonna be better for me to break this up and mix it all into here. So what I'm gonna do just temporarily, I should have weighed this earlier on because I'm gonna mix everything in here. But just for now, ooh, it's hot. I'm going to transfer all of this dish into here. Let me just break this up a little bit so it, oh, that's gonna break up so nice. Okay, so let's transfer this into here. Now I'm gonna weigh this bowl here, 607 grams. So we need to remember that for later because we're gonna minus 607 grams, whatever the total is of this. So now I'm gonna pour this all back in here. Like I said, this was an extra step that could have been avoided if I had weighed this container at the beginning. Just to show you what this already looks like right now, it already looks bomb. That looks so good already. And now we're gonna mince this all up, and then it's gonna be even better. This is super broken up already. It's got lots of moisture in there, which should be good because I'm gonna add the pasta now into this dish, and then we're gonna mix it all together, all right? So put that there, dump all the pasta in here. All right, let's mix all this up here. As you can see, mixing all the chicken, the veggies that I put in there into a nice mix. Now, I put in that we used almost all of that, and I don't know if we're gonna need more of it, but let's, because I put in the recipe, I'm gonna add the rest of this soup stuff in here, and then, all right, now that this is very evenly mixed, we can take a look at that. And now the next steps. So I'm going to grab my phone again here, and I'm gonna go into the app. Now that I'm into the app here, ready to put this batch in here as a recipe, I have all the ingredients in here. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna screenshot or write down on a piece of paper the proteins, carbs, and fats. This is very important to know this number here. Don't worry about the calories, don't worry about anything else. Screenshot that. Now I've got those ratios. Now I'm gonna just summarize this so I know that it's easier for me to look at. Save it to my photos. Now what I'm going to do, okay, is I'm gonna weigh the whole entire dish, and remember, this pot weighed 606 grams. So I'm gonna put my scale here, 9.6 pounds. So remember that, 9.6 pounds. Now I need to convert this pounds into grams. So we're gonna go here, we'll go 9.6 pounds into grams, which is 4,554. So we're gonna take 4,554, is that correct? Oh, 4,354. 4,354 minus the 606 grams that the bowl was. So 3,748. Remember this number. This is gonna be really important when we put our serving sizes in. So now what we're going to do is we're gonna add this into the app. So 3,748, remember that. So we go into the app here, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go hit the back arrow, we're gonna log a meal, add a food item, add manually, and call it chicken pasta dish. We're gonna change the grams to the 3748. There we go. It's 3748, put that in there. Now the fats, remember we wanna go into the picture. So we go to our photo albums, find the photo, and we go, okay, fats were 116.8, so we go 116.8. Carbohydrates, we're gonna put in is 476.5, 476.5, 476.5, and then we go into proteins, and then we would go to 449, so 449.4. Now we're gonna save this. Now, as you see here, we don't wanna eat this whole thing today, so all we're gonna do is now that we save this, okay, we're then going to scoop out our portion that we want today. So in this case here, I'm gonna put one of my bowls on, okay? gonna zero out my scale, and then I'm gonna just portion out what I want. So if I was having a big family dinner, this would be an easy way of doing it. So now I'm gonna portion out what I want. So if I was having a family dinner, I could just scoop myself all I wanted, and this is 343 grams. So I'm gonna leave it there. Now I'm gonna go back into the app, and then I'm gonna hit the dish, and I'm gonna change this to 343 grams, 343, and see how it auto calculates the proteins, carbs, and fats. I'm gonna hit save item, and then I'm going to save this. Now I could have saved the recipe as well if I wanted to. I could wrote it down somewhere else, but I just wanna save my portions. Then I'm gonna go save to my foods. Now, if I follow that exact same recipe and I do the exact same things, this will always be portioned out correctly. So I would advise having the recipe saved somewhere else, but this is how you save your portions so that it's always an exact science. Then you would save it. You need to log it, and that way it will, I have the logged meal right here. There we go, right? So then we've got this, the chicken pasta dish. So this was my portion out of this. So once I have all this, now I know how I have the recipe here. What I would do is, because I don't want to necessarily track the whole recipe today, is I would save it and I would screenshot so I know how much chicken, how much cucumber, how much pasta from dry weighted pasta, so 540 grams total dry weighted pasta. So I just know everything I use for this exact recipe. And when I portion myself out, let's say tomorrow, I want to, I'm portioning some things out, and I can go log meal, and I go add food item, go to my foods, and I can see the chicken dish right there. The last time I did was 343 grams. Now I can do that, tap into it, and say, well, let's say I had a portion that was 245 grams. It will auto-calculate the exact amount that I need for proteins, carbs, and fats. And that way I know if I need to eat a little bit more to hit my targets in that meal. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. And the reason why it's important to do this versus trying to eyeball it is because imagine if you did have company over, you made this big delicious pasta dish, which this is gonna be amazing, and everybody's scooping out a little bit different amount. What if somebody only ate this much? Obviously it's gonna be really hard to know how many portions I should have. This is gonna be one of the most accurate ways to do it. Is it going to be perfect? No, it's not. There's always gonna be some kind of leniency and grace, but by doing it this way, you're gonna have a lot more accuracy when it comes down to the dish that you're trying to eat and utilize. So hopefully this found helpful, and if you have questions about it, feel free to reach out and ask.